So I've just purged the well 3 times. Each time less volume came back, so it's very slow recharge in this case. So we started off by purging a volume of 14 liters in the piezometer, and then the second time it was 4, and then the third and final time it was 2. So it's very slow for a recharging period. So right now we're going to start sampling. Before we start taking our samples, we want to set up our pH and our conductivity meters so that they have time to take accurate readings, and they'll kind of stabilize as we take our samples as well. So first thing we got to do, we have our sample cup and normal laboratory kind of applications apply. So everything we sample with, we got to purge 3 times. Containers cleaned out with our sample water. I'm just going to let it sit for maybe 35 seconds to a minute just to let it recharge a bit so I could get more of a volume. This holds 1 liter, but I need maybe 500 mils to let my probe sit in completely submerged. And then after we start sampling. So this is a good, experience, I guess you could say. It's finally starting to come out, the sun. We've had rain for about 2 weeks straight. We had some yesterday, but it started to rain on and off, on and off. But fingers crossed for today. We haven't had any rain yet, but there are some mean clouds coming in. And there's no wind right now. It's pretty windy up here. So, back to it. That'll be enough. Got our sample here. Take our pH meter, turning that on. It's been calibrated this morning by yours truly. So that means it's bang on, right? Simply put the probe into the water. All the probes are submerged. First thing we do is you write down our temperature right away, because that will start climbing, and then we'll let our pH and our conductivity read over time, because that's not going to change. This is a small little pocket pH and conductivity meter. It's not as precise as the other probe, but it's a good verifier. It's kind of like a duplicate, and make sure we're not having any major problems with accuracy, not precision. Great. So in the meantime, that well has been recharging, so that means we can start taking samples. So we have 3 samples we're going to take. within the well that do not have preservatives within, or preservatives needed, while we send them off to the lab. So we're going to sample those first. There's one. Two. Three. So now I'm going to be testing for dissolved metals within the groundwater. However, to do so, I got to make sure you don't get any impurities in our sample or large abstractions. So this is a filter. It's 45 nanometers. So basically what we do is we put that onto the end of our pipe. So since we want to preserve these metals, this bottle has nitric acid inside, 2.5 mils. So, or sorry, 1.25 mils. And we're gonna add the volume from the well into here. So our pH for this site is just over 7. And our conductivity is 953 microsiemens. And then after, I'll just make some common notes. What color the discharge was, the speed, the rate of recharge, any abnormalities I'll see with the casing, if it needs to be replaced, or the well itself, the piezometer. Sometimes, as you can see on this hose, there's a repair done to it, maybe 3 feet down from the top. When I start purging, you can see it, just from like crimping and stuff like that. Hoses, they do wear out, so sometimes we have to pull out a hose and replace it, and then sometimes we have to replace the valve at the end. So it really comes down to wear and tear and how long these things are going to last. But yeah, so